Many people wonder if they are an INFJ, and in this video we'll look at 7 weird signs of the INFJ to help you determine if you or someone close to you is a real one. I've struggled for years feeling broken, alone and misunderstood, but when I found out I was an INFJ, everything fell into place. It's important that you find out as well, so that you don't go through life alone, confused and misunderstood anymore, like many INFJs do. However, are you really the rare fantastical INFJ the internet praises so much? Stick around till the end, where I'll reveal a list of my in-depth videos on each weird INFJ sign covered in this episode for you to dive even deeper. Now let's explore. Number 1. You are intense. Whether it's just the infamous INFJ stare or the incessant awareness and contemplation of the impermanence of life, one thing is for sure, as an INFJ you are bound to be intense. Now, in many ways it isn't necessarily obvious to you as an INFJ that you are intense for your social groups, because the structure, content and execution of your thoughts and visions are quite normal to you. However, whenever most people actually learn the dark places where to your mind can wander, the abysmal depths your thoughts can take, and the sheer unrelenting dedication you can conjure up while trying to achieve your idealistic life goals, these same people start to run away screaming. No worries though, we didn't expect for them to understand our INFJ plight anyway, because to dwell in existential discomfort until it becomes comfortable is the INFJ's forte.
Easy does it.
Sadly, our INFJ intensity pushes most people away, leaving us in a lonely place with our brooding minds as our only trusted companions. For this reason, you might have decided to suppress your INFJ intensity. But can you really subdue such a formidable INFJ force? And how far does this INFJ intensity actually reach? Number 2. You have few to no friends. Even though INFJs are renowned for their acute social awareness, empathic warmth and fluid ability to create and maintain social harmony, this doesn't inevitably result in a large amount of close friends for the INFJ. Why not, do you ask? Well, there are lots of reasons for this. One being that INFJs can have a hard time getting the generous, charming and undivided attention they inject in many of their social interactions reciprocated to a healthy degree, which leads to draining friendships. Another reason is that INFJs are excellent self-entertainers, rather enjoying their own company than wasting it on uninspiring placeholder friendships that merely exist to escape boredom and to not feel alone. An additional reason is that INFJs are intense. Unfortunately, more so-called friendships nowadays function as placeholders than we like to believe. The sad text to confirm appointments people make nowadays within the trending culture of last-minute cancellation of set tentative plans whenever something better comes along is an awkward testament to this. Luckily, INFJs understand that being alone and being lonely are two completely different things, and rather focus on being their own best friend first, which is already hard enough to be honest. Yet, understanding all the possible reasons why INFJs have few to no friends may lift the pervasive societal stigma of being deemed a loser when alone, and may also help remove the misconceptions about INFJs being pretentious, arrogant pricks. Number 3. You seem extroverted. Do you enjoy certain social settings a lot? Can you get energized by social interaction for at least a little while? Are you often mistaken for an extrovert by the new people you meet? Although your close family, friends and colleagues, including yourself, know you are a true introvert at heart? If you answered yes to most of these questions, you might be an INFJ. Despite being predominantly introverted at their core, the INFJ can have a pronounced extroverted side. With nicknames like the extroverted introvert and the social chameleon, it's clear that the INFJ's social reputation precedes them. Granted that they operate differently within the social landscape than true extroverts do, yet still it can be hard to tell the difference sometimes. However, for INFJs to get energized from socialization, they require a high quality of interaction. So that means deeper conversational topics, not too much small talk, nor energetic disturbances in the energy fields of the people they are talking to. Otherwise, the INFJ's social battery charge gets drained quickly. Regardless of ideal social conditions, INFJs can charge a lot of social energy to get them through whatever social situation at hand, for at least a little while. However, inevitably there comes the time that they run out of social juice and need to return to the introvert cave to rest, reflect and reset. What is the actual secret to the INFJ's social superpower? What other reasons make them seem extroverted? Number 4. You need a lot of solitude. Extroverted introvert or not, when INFJs inevitably run out of their social gas, they don't know how fast to return to the gas station to refuel. Remarkably, here's where their core introverted nature clearly shows. INFJs need to periodically retreat into solitude to relax, reflect, rest, and reset. They're often highly sensitive senses and process everything that has been experienced throughout their day, being in the outside world. It's a common practice among fellow introverts, and the place where they are guaranteed to find that solitude is what is known as the introvert's sanctuary. The introvert's sanctuary is an inviolable, peaceful, and private place introverts have set up for themselves to recharge. Often, it's a cozy bedroom, an inspiring studio, or an abundant workshop. But some introverts may choose nature to retreat into as their introvert's sanctuary, like a beautiful garden or a secret part of a forest nearby their home. INFJs recover in solitude by introspecting, processing and reflecting on their thoughts, feelings and inner world stimulation while minimizing external stimulation. In support of that, they may do some relaxing activities like reading a book, listening to music, journaling or drawing. It could also just be staring out the window watching the autumn leaves being carried by the wind while enjoying a warm cup of herbal tea. Next to recharging, prolonged solitude is also needed as an entry point into the INFJ's creativity. In solitude, they create the space that allows for spontaneous creative impulses to rise and the possibility to act on them. INFJs are very comfortable being alone, and depending on how much freedom the INFJ has created in their day-to-day lives, there's no telling how long they might reside in solitude before they venture out into the world again. One day, 1 week, a month, who knows? Mind you, that their smartphones are used minimally during this time as well. As a non-introvert, don't try this at home, because this self-inflicted isolation is not for the faint-hearted. You might hurt yourself.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
However, there are several important reasons for the INFJ's self-isolation to occur, and sad to say, not all of them are healthy ones. Number 5. You are secretly seductive. You might think, what? INFJs are seductive? How so? They aren't the sleazy, manipulative pickup artist types that usually are associated with seduction, right? Your inquiries are valid, my friend. However, after reading the infamous book The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene and watching tons of his interviews on the subject, I found out that the true universally seductive traits observed through the centuries of human courting history are not what you would immediately associate with seduction, and that INFJs almost by default are displaying a lot of these seductive traits of the seducer archetypes the book describes. For example, the INFJ's unquenchable curiosity about the people they meet. Another example is the INFJ's undivided attention while listening to someone else speak. As an INFJ, you might hear this and say, what? Both these things are the secrets to the holy grail of potent seduction, but these are just such basic traits to us INFJs. Yes, you are right. And surprisingly, there are a lot more of seductive traits like these most INFJs would consider just as common courtesy. But think about it. Herein lies the power. Many of these seductive traits are so much of a second nature to the INFJ that many INFJs unknowingly are seductive. Could you imagine what is possible for INFJs when they consciously start to cultivate and display these seductive traits? Seductive traits they already possess anyway, because they came with the INFJ Personality Starter Kit. Can you see the possibilities when INFJs deliberately start to embody the seducer archetypes that suit them the best? Morally and ethically, of course. Seduction has a bad reputation, but after diving deep with me into this subject from the INFJ angle I'm laying out here, seduction will never be the same. Awaken to your INFJ seduction gifts to transform your relationships. Number 6. You struggle finding a romantic partner. INFJs are romantic, loving, and even seductive souls. With their kind, attentive, and generous hearts attuned to social harmony, they are built for loving relationships. Poignantly so, they also seem to be doomed to rarely ever find true love despite these attractive traits. If you think this sounds like a sadistically poetic curse, it's because it is. But wait! It gets even worse. It's one thing for INFJs to struggle with finding a romantic partner they dream about having their envisioned enlightened relationship with.
Just want a screamer!
It's another that INFJs tend to end up in toxic love relationships. What is worse, merely the absence of love or repeatedly finding yourself in a dysfunctional one? Well, actually, in the latter case, you have both negative outcomes, and sadly, love has nothing to do with it. The same we can say for the INFJ's self-love, which is often a shaky concept to say the least. Tragically, it becomes increasingly more clear, at least to me, that many of the widely accepted so-called INFJ traits are in reality a cluster of survival mechanisms as responses to trauma, many of which not only seem to make it hard for the INFJ to find love, but also make it hard for others to love the INFJ. Could all of these things be related when it comes to the INFJ's romantic relationship challenges? And what are the reasons making INFJs hard to love? All painful propositions to contemplate, and yet necessary ones if we as INFJs truly want the emotional freedom to form the enlightened love relationships our hearts yearn for. Number 7. You despise bad manners. The INFJ's nickname, the social chameleon, is well deserved. It's a testament to their acute social awareness, ability to adapt to their social environment and create and maintain the social harmony within groups of individuals as well as their own one-on-one interactions. Here's a nickname I would give the INFJ, the social conductor. Yes, splendid, right? Yet, all this laser-focused attention of the INFJ on others' feelings, emotions, and behaviors, and the care they pour into maintaining everybody's well-being make it so that the INFJ wants at least a minimum of that same thoughtfulness in return. INFJs aren't snobs, but they absolutely despise bad manners, especially because bad manners can be considered the #1 threat to the INFJ's precious and carefully crafted social harmony, as almost nothing else disrupts social interactions to the same degree. So, good manners, thoughtfulness, and a basic level of respect is what a healthy INFJ will value very much. Any obnoxious, selfish, or caveman social etiquettes will be lost on them like a fart in the wind. Do you resonate with the INFJ signs? Want to dive deeper in any of the weird INFJ signs covered? Check out my other videos that explore every weird INFJ trait discussed here in depth. In the description of this video, you'll find a link to the in-depth video next to the chapter of the corresponding INFJ sign. Or click on this playlist on your screen, which has all in-depth videos in the same order as the 7 weird INFJ signs of this episode. Let's continue our INFJ exploration. See you there!